So hello everybody, my name is for today's video where I'll be discussing about calculus. So it's like a really interesting topic that we will cover for today's video. Alright, so let's get started. So for today's video, we are only going to be discussing about derivatives and integrals because these are the most common things that you must know in calculus. Also, calculus is a really hard and also bored topic. So maybe in the next week, I'll discuss further and deeper into its concepts. So now I want to talk about what it is actually. So, calculus is basically something really useful in our life. So you could see that there's a lot of reasons for us to use it. It is usually used to find or to search out properties of different kind of derivatives or integrals. And so calculus is basically just that. We find and we search and we know the properties of these derivatives and integrals. Alright, so now let's look at two basic types of calculus that we could see. So let's dive deeper into its principles. Alright, so first is about derivative. Derivative is actually something pretty widely used, and you could see that there's like a lot of sources about it. So what thing could derivative help us? So the derivative of a function or a calculus function could measure how the function's output values and like the output value, and it could change and the input changes. Well, in other words, it helps to understand what will happen to the output when the input changes. Actually, that's really basic, right? So that is about derivative. So derivative, it has a lot of amazing rules and like there's lots of amazing common things about it. So let's look at an example of derivative. Let's look at some rules of it. So derivative rules could contain the power rule, which is like the top number on like something like you could see here. This is the power and it has the power rule. Okay, sorry, I have to change my pen. So the power rule is actually something really basic. It has to do a lot with math functions and even basic arithmetic problems. Next is constant rule. Also, we have constant multiple rule, sum rule, difference rule, product rule, quotient rule, and also chain rule. And like there's a lot of it that we must dive deeper if we want to understand and actually use calculus in their real life. So let's look at an example of derivatives. So here we have is our derivative formula. So this example could be basically find out by this progress. So you can see, and this is the progress of finding about the output of this input. Alright, next we have is integrals. So integral is actually something really cool. So what is it? Integral is basically something that is used to calculate the area or to calculate the area or the amount of something, of these operations, of these derivatives. And so they used to find areas under the curves. So like when you have like a map of it and like there are curves like this. So these integrals will have to find this part here, the part that I colored here, which is what integrals are used to find. So an integral is separate into two basic types, which is infinite and finite. So they both have a lot of amazing uses. And in integral, they also have some basic rules, but actually is a little bit more less than derivative because it just includes power rule, constant rule, sum rule, and difference rule. Alright, so now I'd like to dive deeper into its applications. But first, let's look at a quick example of integrals. So here we have is an integral function. You should look at it. Alright, so now let's look at its basic applications. Well, in mathematics, it's used for a lot of things that's actually really helpful for us. So in mathematics, it could be used to analyze different kind of functions to calculate the rates of change for optimization and to optimize the problem that we're doing so it will be easier and like more convenient to calculate. Next is in daily life. So in daily life, it will help with personal finance, like to calculate the budget, the spending that you need for which day. It is used for also healthcare to calculate our maybe our stress level, etc. It could also be used for traveling and for navigations, situations and circumstances. Also calculations would comes to the role. Next, we have is financial and business. So in financial, it could come to have profit maximization to optimize cost analysis, and in business, it could be used for optimization in marketing. And yeah, it means here is that you could optimize the financial analysis, and also it could be used it could be used for operation management. And lastly, it could also be used for marketing and for calculating marketing and consumer behavior. So that's all about what I know of calculus. So calculus is actually something really broad, wide, and crucial in basic math concepts. Well, I'll see you guys next week and we will discover more about calculus. Goodbye.